This ground stop at some New York City airports, as we mentioned, the Federal Aviation Agency halting flights into LaGuardia due to a shortage of air traffic control staff. Southwest CEO Gary Kelly talked to us yesterday about this very concern. Take a listen.
The thought that you would refer to people and their jobs as non-essential is absurd. Everybody is essential or they shouldn't have a job. But as an example, the FAA is not hiring replacement air traffic controllers or training them. All those are considered non-essential functions, and that is shut down. So that means that where the FAA is already stressed in terms of staffing all of the centers around the country, now they'll be even more stressed. So there is a risk that air traffic will have to be slowed down because they will be safe. They do a phenomenal job managing our airspace, and they will be safe, but it may not be very efficient.
And in fact, the FAA did put out a statement yesterday saying that the public can be assured the air system is safe. Kayla Tausche's got more this morning. Morning, Kayla.
Good morning, Carl. What was more of a headache for travelers from the shutdown at airports in the last several weeks now appears to be an escalating security concern. You mentioned the issues that the FAA is citing, an average of 41-minute delays into LaGuardia, and issues at other New York area airports as well. Some 14,000 employees from the Federal Aviation Administration are furloughed. And New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo says that an essential program that deploys personnel overseas to inspect passenger jets that are coming to the United States, that program has been stopped. And he raises the specter of another 9/11, potentially because of some of these security lapses that could be happening thanks to the shutdown. So where are we on the shutdown? We're on day 35, currently in a holding pattern. The House is out until Monday, and we are currently waiting to see if Democrats are going to be tabling an offer. Some of the ideas that Republicans have been floating in the last 24 hours are a down payment for a wall. You give a little bit of money now and a little bit more money maybe when the government reopens in several weeks. You would potentially fund the government for 3 weeks or so. That's the time frame that's being tossed around. And then there's this other idea on a potential commission for border safety. Now, some Republicans, especially those on the more conservative side, as well as members of the president's base, say that's not enough. The president promised a wall. There needs to be some sort of barrier and some sort of check that is included to actually meet those demands to get the government open. We're still waiting to see what comes out of the Democratic side. We know that the top Senate Democrat, the top Senate Republican, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, they were talking yesterday. The fact that they were talking was billed as a positive, so we'll see if they continue talking and whether there's any sort of breakthrough. Carl?
Kayla, what exactly would a commission entail? What would that look like?
That's the big question, Morgan. I mean, what exactly do they study? And ostensibly, because this border situation has been going on for the entirety of the Trump administration, that they would already be intimately familiar with the data that had been provided by the Department of Homeland Security, with the dispatches from the Border Patrol agents that have been on the border for all of this time. So what a commission would do, actually, that's the big question here. And we will see whether, in fact, that is something that becomes a serious proposal by Republicans, or if it's just floated as something to potentially get Democrats to the table.